Welcome everybody to this session, Platform Orientation for Speakers. We are giving a few seconds for everybody to join with their audio. And I will now give the floor to Agnes, who will introduce today's session.
Thank you, Lara. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today on today's webinar, Platform Orientation for Speakers. My name is Agnes from the Conference Department of the Union, and the session will focus on providing guidance to speakers on how to use the virtual platform run by Conference Compass. So speakers will learn how to use the speaker dedicated dashboard to upload their slides and pre-record themselves, how to join the virtual session, and have a sneak peek of a conference platform. So, and we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions about the platform functionalities. Please write them in the Q&A, and we will make sure to address them in the second part of the webinar. Please, for any other question not directly relating to the speaker dashboard, you can either send them to us in the usual way by email or to the main email address, which is conferences@theunion.org. I think my colleague will write it in the chat right here. And we also have a specific email address for any queries for the other activities that we have, mainly the Community Connect or TV Science. So feel free to send them to us and we'll address them after the webinar by email at earliest possible convenience. And just to remind you that a recorded version of this webinar will be available on the Information for Speakers page from the conference website. The URL of this page will also be available in the chat now. So today's presenter is Anouk from Conference Compass, and she will be supported by Oli, our lead technical consultant. And without any further ado, you're invited to an immersion in the speaker dashboard. Up to you, Anouk. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction. So yeah, I will be here today to explain to you the speaker dashboard that will be used for the Union conference. I will start this presentation by playing a video, which includes all the instructions. After the video, I will share a few more comments, and then I will be ready to answer any questions you might have. So I will now first share my screen to play the video, and then I will get back to you with a few comments. Welcome, my name is Anouk, and today I'm going to explain how to access and use your speaker dashboard for the 52nd Union World Conference on Lung Health. You have or will soon receive an invitation to the session you are speaking in. Via this email, you get access to your speaker dashboard of that session. You can click on Open Dashboard to access your dashboard. Here we see the backend. In the page of the event, you will find all the sessions you've been invited to present in. Click on a session to access the session speaker dashboard. I have here already opened a speaker dashboard for this webinar. Here we go. On the speaker dashboard, you can make a pre-recording of your presentation prior to the conference and be present in the session during the conference. We advise you to use or access the speaker dashboard in the Chrome browser. When using the dashboard, we also advise closing other applications and turn off your notifications. Please make sure to use the same computer and internet connection when you are preparing for the conference as when you are as during the conference, because a different computer setting or internet connection can change your experience. Well, now I've accessed the speaker dashboard, I'm first going to explain how to pre-record your presentation prior to the conference. Afterwards, I will explain how to use the speaker dashboard during the conference. Now, how to pre-record your presentation using the speaker dashboard. In the bottom left corner, you see a button Pre-record. Click on this button to go to the pre-recording mode. I'm going to delete this recording because this is the screen that you will see when you first access this pre-record mode on your speaker dashboard. Before starting to pre-record, it's important to enable your microphone and camera at the bottom. You can see yourself here on the right, so make sure your camera is positioned at eye level. There is no disturbing background or background noise. You can select another microphone or video source if needed by clicking on the arrow next to the microphone and video buttons. Once your video and audio is set up correctly, you can upload your slides. Uploading slides can be done here in the middle. You need to upload your slides in PDF format, and actually it's required to use the official conference PowerPoint, which is available on the Union website. A link can be found on the invitation. You'll find it here, helpful link for successful presentation. Here you can download the template. Please note that an updated version was uploaded in the last few days, so make sure you have the latest one. I will upload the slides here as well. So I click on Upload Slides, I select the right slides, PDF. So once you have created your PowerPoint, export it to PDF and upload it here on the speaker dashboard. Once you have uploaded your slides, you will see that you are able to navigate through the slides using the previous and next buttons. Right here, I can click on next and previous. If you want to upload different slides, you can delete them by clicking on the trash can right here and then upload new slides. It is also possible to share your screen. You see the option here in the lower right corner, but the preferred option is to upload slides. For example, if you have animations though in your PowerPoint, of course this is not supported in PDFs. So in that case you can use share screen. However, please make sure to share your entire screen and then launch PowerPoint in presentation mode. So it will be full screen. Now we have our slides set up and a microphone and camera. Now we can start recording. You can find the instructions to record on the right side, but I will explain this to you as well. Click on the record button right here. Then a pop-up window shows up saying what happens next. Basically, when you start recording, there will be a countdown on your slides. When the countdown reaches 0, you will see that the time starts running in the lower left corner. Please keep an eye on the time and make sure you do not go over the time that is communicated to you for your presentation. So now the time is running, so I am being recorded. I can click through the slides and finish my entire presentation. There we go. And then when you are finished, you just go to the lower left corner and you will see when I go over the time, I can stop the recording. When you stop recording, the recording itself is instantly available on your speaker dashboard for playback. So I can play the recording, I can check if it's what I expected, if it looks good. If I'm satisfied with the result, I just leave it as it is and I go to present live. Okay. If you want to do another attempt, you have to delete the recording. So you have to click delete this recording and then you can create another one. Now you will see that on the right side, there is also an option to upload a video. This can be used in case the recording is made elsewhere, so outside this platform. However, we would like to ask you not use this option unless it's communicated to you personally that you're allowed to use it. Okay, now there are two cases that require a special mention regarding pre-recording. The first one is when you are giving two presentations within one session. In that case, please confirm with us that the first recording is completed. You can send an email address to the email you find in the invitation, the one right here. Then you will receive instructions on how to create the second recording. Okay. The second case that requires special mention is if you are a chair, but you're also presenting in a session. In that case, the following applies to you. Right now, we have invited you as a speaker to allow you to pre-record your presentation. Once we have confirmed your presentation, we will invite you as a moderator. So you won't have access anymore to the speaker dashboard. Instead, you will get access to a different dashboard with different controls. And you can join the webinar on this on October 4. You will then receive more instructions. The invitation to this webinar will follow soon. Now I will continue with the instructions for during the session at the conference. If your session includes a live Q&A part, the following instructions apply to you. If your session is completely on demand, the following instructions do not apply. You only need to pre-record your presentation. Now, during the conference, we ask you to enter your speaker dashboard 30 minutes prior to the start of the session. You go to Present Live in the lower left corner, and a technical moderator will also be present to brief you about the session, to make sure you're set up correctly, and to answer any questions you may have. On Present Live, you can hear and can be heard by the other speakers and moderators that are invited to the session if they are on their dashboard as well. Normally, on the camera frame, you can just see yourself, but once the technical moderator enabled panel mode, you will also see the other online speakers and chairs of the session. Now, in order to appear on the panel, either your microphone or camera needs to be enabled. So if you, when you enter your speaker dashboard and you see the other speakers and chairs, but you do not see yourself, make sure that your camera and microphone is enabled. Because you will see when I now disable both my microphone and camera, I will disappear from this grid. So now I'll enable them again and I will appear again on the grid. So make sure that both are enabled when you enter your speaker dashboard 30 minutes prior to the session. In these 30 minutes, the attendees won't hear and see you yet. That is because the room is closed. You will also see this on the notification at the bottom of your dashboard. About 15 minutes prior to the session, the technical moderator will open the room, so then this notification disappears. However, the attendees can still not see and hear you yet. They can just enter the room and take a seat and wait until broadcasting starts. Only when broadcasting starts, they will be able to hear and see you. So although the pre-recordings are playing and we are at the beginning of the session, make sure to mute yourself because otherwise the attendees can hear you. Now, when the session starts, we will start with an introduction by the chair. So right before broadcasting, the technical moderator will select the chair as the active speaker. That means that we will leave panel mode and you will see yourself again here on Present Live. Now the chair has selected, or the technical moderator has selected the chair as the active speaker and will start broadcasting. Once we have started broadcasting, you will see that a live tag appears on the audience view button in the lower left corner. By clicking on this audience view button, you will be able to see the session. So you can see exactly what the attendees are seeing. So right now I see the placeholder slide and I see, let's say, the chair. The chair will introduce the session and after that they will play the pre-recordings. You can also follow the pre-recordings from audience view. So just stay here and watch all the pre-recordings being played. Right now we are starting pre-recording. So you can see now a pre-recording that I made earlier. I am presenting and clicking through the slides. I can all watch this from audience view. Still on audience view, please make sure that your microphone is muted because if you would make any sound, the audience would hear you. Now at the end of the pre-recording, so when they are all finished, they're all being played, the moderator will go back to panel mode where we will have a live Q&A. You can participate in this live Q&A actually from audience view. So when you are in the panel, so you can see yourself again here, enable your microphone and you can participate. The chair will go through all the questions and you can have a live discussion. If there is a case that you would like to show your slides to support your answer, that is possible. Just say it out loud and the chair will select you as the active speaker. You will see that when they do this, you will be brought back to Present Live automatically. So I will switch from audience view to Present Live. In the top left, it tells me that I am presenting. That's also why audience view is now disabled. And the audience will see my slides and still see the panel on the right side. So I can click through the slides, go to the slide that helps me to answer the question. And then when you're finished, the moderator will again select the chair as the active speaker, so the audience won't see your slide anymore, and continue with the other questions. You can continue now the panel from here on Present Live, but you could also go to audience view and continue having the discussion on panel from there. Okay. When the live Q&A is finished, the technical moderator will stop broadcasting. When we stop broadcasting, you will know that the live tag disappears from audience view. So when you don't see this live tag here anymore, as you see right now, that means that we are not live anymore and the audience cannot see and hear you. So from this moment, you could talk to your co-speakers and share again without the audience listening. Now, what is important to mention for the live Q&A is that we have some interactive features here on the right side. The first one is the chat. And for the chat, we have two types of chat. We have an attendee chat and a speaker chat. The attendee chat can be used by attendees, speakers, and moderators. So everyone can post here a message and it can be visible to anyone. The speaker chat, however, is just between the speakers and the moderators, the chairs. So kind of a green room. If during the session you have any private message for the chair or the moderator, you can write it here without the attendees seeing it. Please note that all the messages that are sent in the chat, both attendee and speakers, cannot be deleted. So don't do many test messages prior to the conference because we cannot remove them before the sessions start. The second tab, the Q&A, is used to send in questions. So questions can be sent by you as a speaker, but also by the moderator and by the attendees. You can actually keep an eye on this tab during the pre-recordings. Maybe there are already questions coming in for you, and then you can prepare for the live Q&A. When a question is sent by you or an attendee, it will first go to the technical moderator and the chairs. They can make the question visible to the audience. Only when they made the question visible, so kind of approve the question, it will be visible to you on the speaker dashboard. So for example, this question here is just made visible by the technical and moderator or the chair. By the likes here on the side, you will be able to see how many upvotes the question got. Attendees can upvote, but you as well. So you can see here, I upvoted this question. So maybe the one with the most likes will need to be answered first. The last step is the attendees. Here you will be able to see who is currently attending the session, so how many people are watching. Below the speaker frame, there is another interactive feature called Vote, but this one you can completely ignore. It won't be used for this conference. Now, this concludes all the instructions on the speaker dashboard. Thank you for listening, and we are now ready to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, very good. So in addition to this video, I would like to share with you three notes. The first one is about the session flows. So during the conference, there are different kind of sessions, each with different kind of flows, meaning some are on demand, some are pre-recorded, and some are a mix. So in this video, you've seen what happens if there are pre-recorded videos. So in that case, like you can go to audience view to watch the recordings there, and afterwards join the live Q&A. Of course, if your session doesn't have any pre-recordings, your session will be just live Q&A entirely. In any case, the technical moderator will inform you about the session flow of your session in the 30 minutes prior to the session, so you all know what is expected of you during the session. The second point I would like to share with you is that in this video, the look and feel, the design of the speaker dashboard might be a little bit different from when you are accessing your speaker dashboard right now, if you already received your invite. These changes are only design-wise, and mostly related to live Q&A. The actual look and feel, as you see it in the video, will be available to you on your speaker dashboard also around the 20th of September. So don't worry if you see any difference, this will be aligned very soon. The last point I would like to share with you is with regard to the platform for attendees. So today we are only explaining you how to use the platform when you are a speaker in a session. The invite to the platform as an attendee, so when you would like to attend other sessions, will follow in October. So don't get confused about that you are not able to find the other sessions. This is really just only about the sessions that you are speaking in. So these were all my notes. Then I think now it's time for the live Q&A.
Thank you, Anouk. That was very interesting. I just want to remind everybody there will be a recording on the speakers, information for speakers page on the Union Conference website. I'm just going to go quickly through some of the questions that we have already been busy answering. I think it's worth it, even if they were answered, to remind you, and also those that will be watching the recording and might not be looking at the Q&A chat. So one question was if the session chairs will use this platform. Yes, but there will be a webinar for session chairs in a few weeks, and all the session chairs will be invited to it. Is there a slide template for the presentation? Yes, and you can download it from the Information for Speakers site website on the Union conference. When you have recorded the presentation, where is this saved and how do you upload it? Once you record your presentation, it is automatically saved. You don't have to do anything else. Then, yes, this webinar will be recorded. And now I think Agnes and the team might be ready to answer some of the questions live. So Agnes, I see you have marked some of the questions to be answered live. Do you want to have a go?
Yes, thank you, Lara. So we have a question about if the question is, can I record by myself and make slide inserted with recording, submit it to the link? I think I will let it over to Anouk to respond, since it's a little bit more technical.
Yes. So yeah, you can. The question is, can I record by myself and make slides inserted with recording and submit you the link of slides with recording? So what I've shown you today is how you can record your presentation on the platform. In that case, you upload your slides on the platform and you start a recording. I'm not sure if you are referring in this question to recording outside the platform. That's kind of what I understand from the question, but maybe I understand it wrong, because I think in that case, maybe Agnes, you can answer what are the instructions on that?
It is possible to record outside of a platform, and we'll send you a separate instruction about that. As long as you stay with the allotted presentation time, it's something possible, but then you will have to upload the presentation on the dashboard again, so that we have a copy of it. So this is possible, but you need to specify exactly the context of what you want to do. I think it's not totally clear for us. Yes. And if possible, you can just email us and we'll come back to you on that point.
So as mentioned in the video, the upload video, we prefer you to use to record the. We prefer you to record the video, the presentation on the platform. If you want to use the upload video, I suggest you send an email to the organizer to confirm that's possible for you, and then you'll receive the instructions.
Thank you. I see some other questions marked for answering live. I'll read it and then, so we have a question. We only need to end the pre-recording for it to be saved in the dashboard, right? I think Ollie answered this before, yeah? Correct.
Yeah, basically, so when you finish your recording, you can watch it on your dashboard. If it's correct, don't delete it, just leave it as it is and go to present live, or yeah, close your dashboard until you return for the live Q&A during the event.
Perfect. Then this question, can the broadcast of the speakers be stopped and started to allow live Q&A after each presentation?
Technically, it is possible. However, the session flows as they are designed right now is to have the live Q&A all the way at the end of the session. So for now, the answer technically yes, but it won't be the case during the conference unless there will be an exception made for a certain session, but that's not confirmed at this moment.
Thank you. Can two speakers record from different rooms for a single presentation?
Yeah, so this is currently not possible on the platform. The camera that is being recorded is the camera that you select as an input on your computer. So I showed you the video source. You can select your webcam or the internal camera, but not a, let's say, a camera from two computers. So if this is the case that you are making a presentation with two speakers, I suggest to contact the organizer and ask for the instructions to record the presentation externally and then upload the video on your speaker dashboard.
In this situation, I would probably recommend that speakers record their half of their presentation independently, and then we can join those together during the final broadcast. Just play those presentations one after the other.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, timelines. It was informed to upload the presentations by the 19th of September. Do we get an extension? I think, Agnes, this question is for you.
I did see Agnes was writing a response.
So by default, we stick to this time frame because, as you may understand, there's quite a lot of work to be done after the presentation is uploaded and recorded. But please come back to us if you have any issues, and we come back to you by email because I guess each case may be different. So just come back to us, and we'll give you a specific answer. Thank you.
Thanks, Agnes. How many attempts do we have to pre-record the video on the platform?
Good question. So I don't have a limit, at least we have never reached this limit, so I'm not sure. The only thing to keep in mind is that you can have only one recording at a time. So if you want to do another attempt, you have to delete the recording and create a new one. You cannot go back to the previous recording that you created. So really make sure that you only delete the recording if you're sure you want to do a new attempt. You cannot go back.
Someone is asking, can I use my own templates? I'm guessing PowerPoint templates or slides.
So I can answer this one. Actually, there's an official conference template that needs to be used, but we may understand that people may need to mention their institution or organization, so they can insert their logos in the official template. But this is a virtual conference, so for like consistent look and feel, we'd rather have everyone have the same template. Thank you.
Thank you. For the introduction of speakers, are there any way to do so for satellite sessions and for Q&A if you, okay, I think if you have more than 100 people attending, how can this be managed in real time for the chair's perspective? Agnes, maybe you want to mention about the chairs.
Yes, I'm just trying to, maybe we won't focus right now about the chair's perspective because we'll have a specific webinar for that. But for introduction of speakers, it all depends on the.
I think it's just worth making clear that during a presentation, you won't see 100 viewers. You're not going to see microphone or webcams for every person that's attending the session. So there's going to be no moderation of the audience. You don't have to, you know, mute people or see their webcams during the presentation. It's just the people that are speaking or chairs. And then in terms of text Q&A, you know, you'll have a moderator and in some cases assistant moderators to help filter any text Q&A questions that come in.
Okay. More questions about the Q&A. If I have supplementary slides, can I share the slideshow as well, apart from what I already uploaded for recorded presentation?
Yes, this is possible. I will just share my screen again to show you the speaker dashboard. So yeah, you have uploaded your slides on pre-record, of course, first to record your presentation. During the session, you're on Present Live. You will see here the slides that you have uploaded earlier for your pre-recording, but you could just delete them and upload new slides that you would like to use during the session. So that's fine. You can remove them, upload them. You can even do that throughout the session if you have multiple slide packages to show. So that's possible, yes.
Okay. How many options do you have to record? We have answered that. There's no limit, or we have never reached the limit. Do you still need a external video to record your presentation during pre-recording?
No, I'm not sure what you mean exactly by this question, but the recording is completely taking place on the platform. So
I think this refers to a webcam. So we do ask that you have a webcam. It's more personal. It allows the audience to see who is sharing this presentation. So we do encourage the use of a webcam when you're doing your recording. But for whatever reason, if that was a particular issue, or you don't have access to a webcam, then you can conduct the recording without a camera enabled.
Yes.
Can we download the recording to share with our team before the presentation?
It's not possible to download the recording you made from the speaker dashboard. The organizer is able to download the recording. So yeah, then it would have to be done through a request to the organization.
And then I think this is the same question as before. Is it required to record a video of yourself during the presentation or just the slides? Oh, someone is asking, will the same procedure will be followed for both oral and e-poster presentation?
So I can answer this one. The procedure is the same for oral presentation, but not for e-poster. They have a different process that has been explained to them separately by email, and another set of instruction will be sent to them, but it's a different process.
Okay. Will the presentation and explanations on self-recording be made available? Yes, via a specific link. Yes, on the Union conference, on the information for speakers, the link has been posted on this chat, and we will send, when this webinar is over, everybody will see their browser. It will pop up and you will get to that page. But if you go to the Union conference website and scroll down just a tiny bit, you will see a section called information for speakers. Click on it and you have all this. Is there a background template? Yes, also in the information for speakers. Okay, I think there's a few questions that were repeated. If WHO country office can access and attend the conference to support the speaker who needs translation support. Maybe Agnes, you can answer, I'm not sure.
So we're working on seeing if you can have translation, but this has not been confirmed yet. So maybe you can come back to us if you have a very specific question and we will answer it, but nothing is confirmed so far in terms of translation services during the conference.
Thank you. If you record with your webcam, can you use a virtual background?
Yes, so this feature is not included in the platform, so it's not able. You're not able to upload like a virtual background within the speaker dashboard. However, there are some programs available that add the virtual background to your webcam. So in that case, you will be able to select it as a video source. There are multiple programs available. I know one is it's like MMHMM. So these kind of external programs you can use, but there is no feature included in the platform.
I think it's worth just reiterating that if you decide to go down the route of installing third-party programs to do virtual backgrounds, this is not something the union will be supporting you to achieve. That is something that you will, be handling on your own.
Can you record snippets of the presentation, or does it have to be recorded all at once?
It has to be recorded all at once. You're not able to pause the recording and return later. Yes.
Maybe we will reach the limit.
Has to be a one-taker.
Yeah. Does the platform allow presenters to have trial presentations without broadcasting them? Yes.
Yes, so you can exactly. You can also upload your slides and practice your presentation without hitting the record button, of course.
Okay, so there is a person, Agnes, that you might have to get in touch by email because there are 2 speakers for one presentation and they are asking about sending them by email. Okay, I'm just trying if any of my colleagues are faster readers than me, please let me know. Yes, there is a cutoff time to upload the presentations, right? We just said it was the 19th of September, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean, speakers receive specific instruction about the time frame. We're not giving specific details right now because they've been sent, and some sessions, for instance, was submitted at a later stage, very later stage compared to what they have. So we don't want people to be confused because this recording will be available. But please do come back to us if you don't have any specific time frame in the instructions sent to you, and we'll confirm. Thank you.
Okay, one question that we hadn't had before. Since the chair will do the introduction, I don't need to introduce myself in the recording, right?
I think maybe this is a question for the organizer.
By default, you don't need to, but you need to remember that the chair's introduction is 5 minutes. So it all depends on what you want to say that has not been said before. So this you can coordinate together with the chair to make sure there's no repeats, since you all have a very an assigned time that you should not go beyond. Thank you.
And someone is asking what email should we use to contact the organizers? I think we have posted in the chat and we mentioned at the beginning the conferences at the union.org. Right?
So it all depends, since we have several activities, if it's TV Science, if it's the main program, if it's Community Connect. So let us know, or if you don't know, just use the generic email address, which is conferences@theunion.org, and we'll come back to you.
Exactly. The Gmail address that is in my presentation and in your invite email is for technical, if you're experiencing technical issues recording your presentation, something goes wrong and you're not sure what's happening, then you can reach out to this Gmail and then we will try to help you.
Thank you. One question about interactivity. This conference by default will be presented through pre-recorded video, no oral presentation. When do we do live engagement?
So this is for me, it all depends on which type of session you're referring to. But for oral presentation and symposia, for instance, you have a live Q&A and you have a live introduction by the chair. So we do have live, we do have interaction, not during the time of a presentation, but you have plenty of time after the presentation to engage with the speakers and the chairs live. It's the same for the Meet the Expert session, for instance. So we do have some opportunities to engage.
Thank you. Oli, I think you want to answer this. Do we need to change the PowerPoint format to PDF format before uploading?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So this depends on whether you want to show animation or any other sort of moving image within your presentation. If it's just slides, then absolutely the best route is to export your presentation to a .pdf file, which can then be uploaded into the recording platform. Otherwise, you can do a screen share and capture your full screen when you present the PowerPoint in presentation mode, and then that will retain any animation or moving image.
Okay. In the Q&A part, will I only be able to listen the question from the moderator, or can I read it myself as well?
Yes, so when the attendees are sending questions, they will arrive first at the moderator dashboard. The moderator and chair will make the questions visible throughout the session, and then you will be able to see them on your speaker dashboard. This might, if questions are sent already during the pre-recordings, you can already open the Q&A tab and see the questions coming in. So then you can already give it a little bit of thought before the live Q&A starts.
If you have supporting slides to answer questions during the Q&A, could you just add them to the end of your presentation, but not present these slides during your recording? I think we've answered something similar.
Yeah, technically it's possible, but yeah, you can also just upload your pre-recording slides, create the recording, and then on Present Live, upload the slides that you would like to use during the live session.
I think, Anouk, someone wants to see again how to access the link for the website to start recording or speaker dashboard.
Okay, then just 1 second, I will have to open the invitation.
So that's essentially that link to the dashboard is a personalized link and will come in the invitation email.
Yes, so I will just skip the invite email, but share my screen.
And I just would like to make sure that the person who's asking is a conference speaker, because you need to be a conference speaker to be able to receive this link to access the dashboard and proceed with the upload and the recording of your presentation. Otherwise, you may not have received this link.
Exactly. So in the invite email that you receive, there will be a button saying Open Dashboard. Click on this button and it will bring you to this website. Here you can click on Sign In or create an account, then continue with email. If you open this website from the invite email, your email address will already be added. It's very important that you create the account with the same email address as you've been invited with, because on this email address, the sessions are available. So here you can sign in like this. Oh, I'm not invited. That's the wrong email. And then you can enter your password if you already made an account. Otherwise, you will be led through the steps to create your account. And then you click on the page of the event, and here you will find all the sessions that you're invited to present in. So maybe you are only presenting in one session, then you will only see this session here. If you have multiple sessions, you will see them here as well. Just for the chairs, right now you will see the session title, and if you click on it, it will bring you to the speaker dashboard. But if you made your pre-recording, and we're going to invite you later as a moderator, you will see that when clicking on the same session, it will now bring you to a new dashboard. And those instructions, as mentioned, will follow on October 4th.
Thank you. Can I present a video within my presentation?
You can include a video if you are showing it through your share screen. And then you have to, because share screen, of course, only shares your screen. It's not a feature that allows to share audio. You're only able to share audio if you're playing your video in a Chrome tab. So you will see that when you hit the share screen button and you do not share your entire screen, but you share a Chrome tab, that there's a checkbox that you can enable to also share audio. So this would be then the way to go.
Sorry,
Our speakers.
Sorry, Laura. Anouk, can you just confirm you can change your view at your share screen source during a recording? So for those people that want to start with a PowerPoint and then change to a Chrome tab.
Definitely.
For the video.
Yes, exactly. So when you are recording slides, while recording, you can hit share screen, then the share screen will be on top of the slide, so you won't see the slides for that moment until you stop sharing the screen. You can also just give this flow a try, let's say, by doing a dummy recording to see how it turns out, and then go for the final recording.
Very good. A question, I think, related to translation. Are speakers advised to record in English only?
Yes, this is the official language, and for the time being, as we said, we don't have any translation facilities guaranteed for the time being.
One question about privacy. We have photos in the pre-recorded video, not for dissemination or download, to protect the privacy of the patients. How can this be ensured by the platform?
So one thing which have been requested to each presenter is to consent to the release of and the publication of presentations. So if you consent to that, it's going to be published. But if you don't want to have some components of your presentation published, I think you should not include them. Because everything is supposed to be accessible for viewing until the 31st of December to all the registered participants. So it will be a little bit challenging to remove part from some specific presentation.
I also think it's important to remember that this is, whilst it's shared with a group of delegates that are within the same industry, unfortunately, anything that goes on the internet can be captured, recorded, reshared, And whilst people that aren't invited to the conference can't get access to the conference platform, that doesn't stop somebody from taking a screenshot of their computer and sharing that. So I think agreeing with Agnes that the best port of call is if there is sensitive information that you do not want to get out into the wild, then you shouldn't include that in your presentation.
Thank you.
Someone is asking, when do we get feedback on sponsoring registration? I think that might be a question to ask by email to the correct perhaps conferences. Yeah.
Thank you.
Does the maximum 10 slides include outline of presentation? Can you speak to the expected number of slides again?
So the maximum number of slides, which is mainly for oral abstract presentation, does not include the introduction slide, the title, the conflict of interest form. So it's really the presentation itself.
Okay. Do you limit the size of the slide to upload on the platform? If so, how many? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's the amount of slides. I don't know if this is also related to it, but the slides can be, of the PDF can be max 25 MB.
Mm-hmm. Someone is asking, are we allowed to add information to our earlier accepted abstracts while uploading the PowerPoint presentation?
So this is for me. So since abstract have been reviewed and accepted as they were submitted, any amendment is not allowed. But if the speaker has any opportunity during the Q&A, for instance, to share some update, he or she can do it. But we cannot change what has been accepted and submitted.
Someone didn't understand the animation bit. He's asking if we are supposed to upload our presentations in PDF, then we cannot have any animations.
So yeah, this is correct. If you upload your PowerPoint as an exported PDF, it will not have animations. However, in the case where animations are important to your presentation, you can do a screen share of your PowerPoint in presentation mode, and that will retain any animations.
The same as when you share a video. Can two authors attend the live Q&A session?
Yeah, so I think by default right now, one speaker is invited per presentation. If two people are needed to join the live Q&A for one presentation, I suggest you reach out to the organizer, because by default, only one speaker will have access to the speaker dashboard, and then another person would have to be added. So I suggest that will be a request by email.
And someone is asking if the invite email with the link to record your presentation, if it has been sent already.
Some invites have been sent, mainly for the Union program and the Community Connect, but more invites will follow on September 15.
Okay, is there a problem if my email account for the conference registration is different from the account I use on the platform?
Yes, so it's very important that you use the same email address as you've been invited with to create an account on the platform, because otherwise you might be able to create an account, but you won't see any sessions within your account. You only see those when you create the account with the same email address.
Okay, does the speaker have to share the screen to start the presentation, or does it automatically show the presentation?
No, so I advise to either upload your slide or start sharing your screen prior to hitting the record button.
Good. Which tools should we use to record our audio or video?
The platform handles the recording of your video and audio. So once you press the record button, all of that is handled by the platform.
So you should have a mic.
Yeah, just check before you make the recording that the right audio source is selected. So maybe it's on internal while you're wearing a headset or the other way around. So just check that, make a recording, and then when the recording is finished, you will notice soon enough if it picked up the right audio source.
Oh, this might be something for Agnes. Do we need to give the speaker intro to the chairpersons in advance?
It all depends on which for which type of sessions. For symposia, for instance, but already have they already have some material to use. But if you have anything you would like to share, please do so, and feel free to come to us if you don't have a contact details, and we'll liaise to make sure that the chair has everything needed to introduce you.
So there's a couple of questions on translation again. Someone is asking if there is any provision for subtitles, and someone is asking if the session on demand should be recorded in English only.
Yes, everything should be recorded in English only by default, yes.
And there's no subtitles?
No, no subtitles.
For the pre-recording audio source, are we supposed to use the default microphone array?
You can click on the button on the side and then select the audio source that you would like to use.
Something for Agnes, I think, is about the abstract and that you cannot change what has been submitted and approved. Does this include if you have updated data or additional information?
Yes, I think any update can be shared at the end during the Q&A, especially if you have innovative data that has been shared with you.
Are we allowed to update the numerical data in the accepted version of the abstract?
No, I think it's more or less the same question. You can share any update during the Q&A, for instance, but what has been accepted should remain as such.
Okay, I see that my colleagues as well have been answering. Someone asked again, they prefer web browser. This will be Google Chrome. Okay, so if you have questions about the sponsor registration, right to scholarships at theunion.org. And anyone else has any more questions, or maybe some of my colleagues can think of something that hasn't been asked?
But really, for any upcoming question that you may have, for instance, once you click on the dashboard, you may have more questions. Please come back to us for technical question. You have a specific email address, and for programmatic question, you have another email address. But even if it may be confusing, we'll still come back to you no matter which email address you use, and we'll respond to your queries.
Just a question that I've seen come in. Should the pre-recorded presentations be for the exact amount of time allocated or slightly less? Either is acceptable, but we do have a very strict policy that any recordings that are over their allotted time will not be accepted. You will be asked to re-record your presentation to ensure it is on time or under. And if you are unable to successfully to do this, then your presentation may need to be excluded from the session. It's really important that they are to the correct time.
If I can complete that, the idea is that the session has a specific duration, and we cannot go beyond the duration of the session. And if your presentation is much longer than expected, then your colleagues will have less time. So it's a matter of balance. That's why we really need you to stick to the allotted time, or to be a little bit less than that, but more is really challenging for us as organizers.
Okay, and again, can we modify our presentation? I guess if you can re-record, yes, but can you change from the abstract? No. Okay, we are almost at the end of the session. Perhaps it's now time to give a couple of closing remarks. Again, Agnes has reminded us there's different email addresses for different questions. There's the Union Conference website and the specific information for speakers section, so please go visit it. You will find the recording of this webinar there. And I don't see any more questions. Anybody else has any pressing messages? Anouk, thank you so much for taking us through the platform today.
And maybe just one final remark is that people can pre-record their presentation at the time of their convenience. This is not time zone bound, so it's really according to their local time, because there's no appointment with the support staff. It's a pre-recording. It's a safe pre-recording process, and they can make trials. And if it's not good enough before recording, they can even upload and check how everything looks before starting the record. So it's really important that they see the dashboard, see how it works, come back to us if they have questions before making the final recording.
Exactly. And I would like to add to this, if your pre-recording deadline was, for example, on the 19th, we will then start checking the recordings. So please don't delete your recording and do another attempt after, because that might be after we already confirmed your recording. And then there will be some confusion up until the conference. So yeah, if you made your recording before the deadline, just leave it as it is. And then it's ready for the conference.
Thank you. Thanks, Oli. Thanks, Agnes. Who was there writing? Matilde was answering those questions. Audrey as well. Joanna is there helping. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all for attending.
Conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.